Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a great day. Today, ladies and gentlemen, look who I have with me, Mr. Bill Schuster. How's it going, Bill?
Doing well, Armando. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Same cup of coffee, but I'm doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our series, Have a Nice Decade. We are looking at our favorite albums throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. We have each picked 10 albums to talk about. Uh, this has been a very interesting exercise. Just a very quick question. How easy was this for you to do?
Oh, you know, the 70s was quite difficult. I mean, there
Yeah,
were a few at the top. I mean, you got my top two albums of all time in my top two spots here, beyond any decade. So those were easy. You get too far beyond that. I mean, the 70s is so ridiculously stacked with amazing albums that I just, joked with Armando right before about me changing my selections on the fly while we're doing this. And I have to resist that. I'm going with what I have written down, what I have the
yeah.
props ready for. But I still the temptations. But wait, what about
Oh,
this?
yeah.
This one that deserves to be there.
Yeah. No, I
So
know. It's true.
yeah,
It's true.
I my top 10 could easily have been a top 30 for the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of
No,
my
I know.
all-time favorite artists that you might expect to be here are not here. So
That's going to be quite telling, actually. I get
yeah.
to get that done. Okay. All right. Well, I did mine. I did my list. Going like I basically just have one album per year from 70 to 79, 80 to 89, etc. So, yeah, it was quite hard. But I want, no, stick with this and just, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Okay. As is customary with these episodes, Bill's going to kick off the episode with his selection. Go ahead, Bill.
Actually, Billy's going to kick off this episode.
Ah,
Billy Joel, 52nd Street. Some would say The Stranger is the best. I say that he perfected that formula on the follow up, 52nd Street. This is one of my all time favorite albums to sing along with. And luckily for me, look at that. The back of the record has all the lyrics just right there.
and the record's about to fall out.
Yeah, yes, it
Yeah,
is. Um, Look at Billy acting like he's an instrumentalist instead of a singer. Come on, Billy. Quit posing, whatever.
I know.
Um, Obviously, the album starts with the big hits Big Shot, Honesty, My Life, and then side one closes with one of those deep cuts that's maybe not so deep that most hardcore Billy Joel fans love, Zanzibar. Yeah, Zanzibar is one of my all-time favorite Billy Joel songs, one of the best things he ever did. But then side two, oh my God, Stiletto, Rosalinda's Eyes, Half a Mile Away, Until the Night. I get so emotional singing along with that song. It's one of those slow build songs, but it's so passionate and so
Hmm.
deep and just it gets me. Um, and then it closes with just this simple, almost silly little short title track, 52nd Street. It's almost an afterthought, kind of like Her Majesty on Abbey Road. Um, yeah, I absolutely adore everything about this album. I think it was the best thing he ever did. Yeah, the fact that it made my top 10 of this decade tells you how much I value. Yeah,
Yeah.
good job, Billy. Great stuff.
My first one, we're gonna talk some Black Sabbath.
Ooh,
Paranoid, the second album that they released in 1970, released I believe it was September 18th, 1970. Um, I was born the next day, actually. That says a lot. Okay. The original, the original album title was going to be War Pigs, but Joe Smith, who ran Warner's at the time, Warner Brothers in North America, said, "Hell no," due to the political climate that was going on in America. War Pig starts off the album. Um, Slow build in terms of the instrumentation, and then just about, I'd say about 50 seconds in, those you know, buzzsaw, I call them buzzsaw guitar rips from Tony Iommi comes in. Uh, Great track, Paranoid. The one track that they came up with in 20 minutes because they needed a third, like one more song to fill out the album. Great, great track, great single. Planet Caravan, the slow brooding track with uh, Ozzy Osbourne's vocals done through a vibrato amp. He's got that sort of ethereal kind of feel to it. Iron Man, ends off side one. Uh, Electric Funeral, you know, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, Fairies Wear Boots. Who the hell knows that? Anyways, good album. Confusing cover aside, album cover aside, um, it's a great album. It, you know, if if the debut album didn't say that, didn't announce the arrival of Black Sabbath and heavy metal, even though they didn't like that title, that label to them, this album did in terms of what was going to be coming up next. So in terms of music, so yeah, that's my first choice. Black Sabbath with Paranoid from 1970.
Excellent. Um, Speaking of some of my all-time favorite bands that didn't get included here, I'm glad you included them because I have no Sabbath on my list on this decade.
Glad to oblige.
Yeah, Paranoid would have been my number two because for those people who are old enough to remember our Black Sabbath album ranking episode, Sabotage was my number one. Paranoid was my number two. So I would have picked Sabotage, but Paranoid is amazing. So awesome. Great choice.
A little side note, you probably don't know this, but I did that show, that album ranking we did, coming down with the flu.
All right. Well, I'm going to go for a soundtrack here. A soundtrack album from the 70s.
Go for
Armando, could you figure what possible soundtrack album would I have from the 70s?
Sesame Street Fever.
I'm out. You got it.
There you go. There
All
you
right.
go.
No, no, no. Of course, it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack.
Ooh, okay.
Damn right it is. Let's do the time warp again, baby. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. Oh my God. Uh, damn it, Janet. If you haven't heard this entire album or seen this movie, what have you been doing with your life? Oh,
There you go.
seriously. I mean, Tim Curry is awesome, but let's face it, he will always be Frank-N-Furter above all his other roles.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but this is the man right here, Riff Raff himself.
Richard O'Brien.
Thank you, sir. Yes, he is the one behind the music, the screenplay.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Sharman was there for the screenplay too, but really, this is Richard's music.
Hmm.
So he played an important secondary role in the film itself, but without Richard, this music would not exist.
Exactly.
Thank you, Richard O'Brien, and thank you, my old friend Roger, who I haven't seen in 30 some odd years, who introduced me to this and took me to my first live performances in front of the movie screen at the midnight showings in St. Louis, Missouri, way back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was missing till then, but this definitely opened me up to a whole new world. And it was and is extremely cool and unique, and there's nothing quite like it. So, superheroes, yeah. God, this is Pops. All right, no, it is my all-time favorite soundtrack. Period. There's
Okay.
no question.
Okay.
Uh, we might talk about my second favorite, which we did an episode on with this, and I'll leave that there. But we won't do it in this show.
Okay. Okay. I have it on CD with I guess it's the full soundtrack with the additional music to it and dialogue from the film. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot the show's a red vinyl on this one.
Oh, okay. With the upside down lips. Okay.
Yes.
Um, okay.
Yeah, the additional stuff from the movie, that's pretty cool because, yeah, you get stuff like the Sword of Damocles and, God, I can't think of the other one. You're as simple as a pencil or something, damn it.
Yeah.
Think Twice, Janet Weiss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your apple pie don't taste too nice. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, there
Well,
you
here I'm
go.
talking up Rocky Horror and I'm like forgetting the stuff.
All right. No, it's a good one. My next one, from 1971, The Who with Who's Next.
Hey.
Released on August 2nd, 1971. Oh, God. Guys, if you can still are able to get the 10 disc Super Deluxe Edition, get it on CD. Just an amazing package. Um, yeah, this album started out, my God, as an idea that Pete Townsend had for oh my God, an
Lighthouse.
interactive
Yeah.
Lighthouse. Sorry, yeah, it's been one of those mornings. And Lighthouse started out as a multimedia experience to the point where even Pete Townsend didn't know what it was about. So he just decided to take uh, a bulk of the songs that were going to be meant for Lighthouse and put out just in a base. I don't mean to, when I say basic, I don't mean it in a bad way, but a pared down Who album. And he came up with Who's Next. Every song on this album is a classic. Bubba O'Reilly, Bargain, Love Ain't for Keeping, um, My Wife by John Entwistle. You know, I'd hate to be his wife when she heard this track. Um, you know, the song is over. Ends off side one, side two, getting in tune, going mobile, behind blue eyes, classic track, and the 8 minutes and 32-second version of Won't Get Fooled Again. Okay, screw the edited version. Listen to
Yes.
the full length version. Classic Rock Radio still plays it. There you go. That's it. I mean, it's a classic album for a reason. Every song is good, and it wasn't until I was in the car with Bob one day listening to this album before I got the box set where I realized this album is bloody amazing. I had it on vinyl in my teens, didn't give it the attention it deserved. I corrected that faux pas. Anyways, this is a great album. That's my next choice. Who's Next? 1971. Check it out.
My next choice, this is another one of those vintage worn copies here that I love so much, but I also have this in multiple other formats because at one point I even considered this my favorite album of all time. Obviously, it's dropped a bit if it's only my number 8 of the 70s, but I still absolutely adore this album. My favorite album by this band, it's A Trick of the Tail by Genesis. Yeah, love the artwork, the characters that represent, the characters in the lyrics of the songs, which again are conveniently and very clearly listed in the interior of the album design.
Yeah,
So it makes it easy to follow along, sing the songs, follow the stories.
yeah.
This was, of course, the make or break album after Peter Gabriel left. And oh, what's Genesis going to do now? They can't possibly survive without Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
And then one Mr. Phil Collins steps up from behind the drum kit and takes over the lead vocals. He'd already been a part of the vocal arsenal to begin with.
Since 71, yeah.
You, yeah, you listen to he'd only done a couple leads, but you go to stuff like Harold the Barrel. He and Peter had already shared the lead on that. I mean, they were harmony basically. So Phil was more than ready and more than capable.
Yeah.
But it's like Gabriel's departure really sparked something in them. It's like they had something to prove.
Yeah.
And by God, they did. They proved it. This album is great. It features my all-time favorite Genesis song, "Madman Moon," which is a Tony Banks composition. Absolutely lovely.
Hmm.
I'd welcome a horse's kick to send me back if I could find a horse not made out of sand, talking about desert mirages and such.
Hmm.
Um, the lyrics are just as gorgeous as the music itself. This is some of the best work that Banks and Hackett, those two in particular, ever did with the band. In fact, their work on Entangled
Yeah.
together, uh, it leaves me with so many what ifs if Hackett had stayed with the band after the follow up Wind and Wuthering. Now, mind you, I love later Genesis as well, so I'm not one of those haters who wants to dog the '80s Genesis. But wow, Hackett and Banks together were just such a gorgeous combination.
Yeah.
Uh, so I lament what we could have had more of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we still got this, and we got Wind and Wuthering, which is very close behind this for me. I mean, they're so close. If I was not following my rule of one album per artist, Wind and Wuthering might be on here also. Uh,
Okay.
a lot of people smack talk robbery, assault, and battery. Yeah, they're wrong. I've done the surveys, the scientific studies, and yeah, those people are wrong. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
true. Robbery,
Yeah.
assault, and battery is great. Uh,
Yeah. Hello, son. I hope you're having fun. I
oh,
mean, yeah.
with Phil and his
Cockney accent. Yeah.
yes,
Cockney accent.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, so yeah, Trick of the Tail by Genesis. That
That's a
is
good one.
number 8.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's the first album post Peter Gabriel when I got into Genesis in 1990 that really pulled me in. And then I went out one day and I bought the entire catalog. Thanks, Mom. Really, I used your credit card to do so, but yeah, anyways, no, it's a good choice. My next choice, 1972, Genesis Foxtrot. My God, for the progressive contingent. Uh, Watcher of the Skies. Timetable. Get 'em up by Friday. Can Utility and the Coastliners. And then all great tracks. I mean, this is just an amazing album. Side 2, Horizons. And then Supper's Ready. An amazing album, even though the band says they don't like the album cover art because it looks quite amateurish
I
with the
love it.
watercolors. Um, and everyone, if you don't know the origins of Supper's Ready really quickly, Gabriel and his wife were having a night in with John Burns, a producer, and they were smoking some pot. And Gabriel's wife started talking in a lower register with her voice. They put her to bed, and Gabriel looked out the window because they were staying at his in laws, and he saw what looked like hooded figures standing on the front lawn outside his window. So that was the basis for what would become Supper's Ready. And I did an episode over 2 years ago with, asking, is this the definitive prog track? And people seem to like that episode, anyways. Good album, good track. Very labor intensive in terms of the instrumentation on it, but this is, for me, prog at its ultimate. So that's my next choice. Genesis with Foxtrot.
Nice. I'm a big fan of the Paul Whitehead covers of both Nursery Crime and Foxtrot. I think they're perfect for the mood of the music.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for some sort of perfection in art. I want something human, and Paul Whitehead's art is very human. It has flaws that add to the beauty of the whole thing. So I wouldn't I wouldn't want to get rid of those. Those are two of my all-time favorite album covers.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah,
And
and the music's pretty damn good too.
no, it is. It is. And just a quick note, it was the band that actually sat down for this writing session for the album and purposely decided to write an extended piece of music. They didn't know how long it was going to be, but it clocked in at 22 minutes and 54 seconds. Supper's Ready alone is it's worth its weight in gold. And yeah, it's a great track and a good album.
All right, I think we've covered Genesis between our last two selections.
Hmm.
So I'll retread some territory you just recently went over. Who's next?
We
Of
ever
course.
seen that before? Okay,
Where have you seen
okay.
that before? I
There
mean,
you go.
come on, man. Yeah, who's next? Even though I only have it ranked at number 7 on this list of personal favorites, I consider this the definitive classic rock album. I mean, if I were to find someone who had never heard, classic 60s, 70s type rock and they wanted to know what it was about, it's about this. It's about Who's Next. This is the album I would hand them. It's that it's a perfect summation of classic rock. Virtually every song on here was being played on the radio, back in my radio listening days, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I think maybe Love Ain't for Keeping didn't really get any play, but literally every other song on this album was a constant classic rock radio staple.
Yeah.
Um, my favorite song is probably Song Is Over, but I wouldn't give up any of these. Yeah, it's just an amazing album.
Hmm.
It never gets old. I dig the Who, but yeah, I'm pretty basic as far as a Who fan. I think this is the best thing they ever did, even if it
Hmm.
was an accidental thing coming out of an attempted concept album. It worked out for
Yeah.
the best, obviously.
Yeah. No, it's
So yeah,
true.
who's next? I'm right there with you. It's my number 7.
It's true. And it's interesting just to quickly note that um, Pete Townsend, about 2 years later, on 72 into 73, wrote a letter to his manager saying that he wanted to leave the group and to basically dissolve the group because he didn't think that things were working out in terms of the music scene at that point, the music business. And he wrote it, he never mailed it. He never mailed it. And then out would come Quadrophenia in 73. So go figure, you
Glad
know,
he didn't do it. I
very
wouldn't want to
interesting.
be without Quadrophenia.
There you go. There you go. Good choice. My next choice, 1973, Michael Field, Tubular Bells. Just again, a very weird album, very mystical. Some would say eerie album in terms of its arrangement. But the fact that it's comprised of two side-long epic tracks, part one and two, to the title track, clocking in at 25 minutes and 30 seconds side one, 23 minutes, 22 seconds side two. Mike Oldfield does all the instrumentation. Yes, the connection with The Exorcist aside, that's only the first 4 minutes of the album. Yeah, look behind you.
No,
Um,
I was
it's
trying
just
to twist my head, but I can't go full.
no, 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 no.
I'm not Linda Blair.
Yeah, no, no. I can only do it once, just once. Never again. Just a very interesting piece of music, split up into two sides. The fact that he does 99.9% of the instrumentation, aside from the choir vocals that come in, and the fact that it was done with the instruments out of tune on the original, and he did a re-recording of the album in 2003, with John Cleese being the master of ceremonies on that version. I have it on CD. Big surprise. Um, just a very unique album. And if you can find it online, there is a documentary on the history of Virgin Records, which this was released on. This was Virgin Records' first official release for their catalog. It's called To the Manor Born. If you can find it, enjoy it. That is my choice. Michael Field, Tubular Bells, 1973.
Very nice. Just a few weeks ago, my dad and I went record shopping in St. Louis, and it would have been mine, but he beat me to it. He found it first. There was
Oh
a
hell, I would have beat him for it.
there was a vinyl Mike Oldfield box set, which included the Tubular Bells albums as well as other classic albums. He got it for $5. Yeah, for the whole box set. So
Yeah, no, I would have tripped him for it. That's just me. It's like if it's like
to be
who
fair, he was paying, so
what
I
does
was
fair
kind
have to do with it? I mean, okay, let's go. It's like, it's like what's love got to do with it? What's fair got to do with it? Okay, go on with your
all
next
right.
one.
Um, my next one. I bet you can guess where I'm going here. It wouldn't be the one you'd pick, but I bet you know which one I'm picking.
Oh, I bet so. Ah.
That's right, the debut Queen album. I love all kinds of 70s Queen albums and 80s for that matter and whatnot, but this just has a special place in my heart. This jazz is so close, it's just a hair behind, but these guys got accused of being a Led Zeppelin clone, just like Rush did originally, and so many others. I thought they were way beyond that at this point. But frankly, this came out the same year as Zeppelin put out Houses of the Holy, and this is, I think, every bit as experimental as Houses of the Holy.
Yeah.
Um, but this is Queen's debut. That was Zeppelin's fifth album, so uh, they had already moved well beyond the obvious. It wasn't necessarily, well, neither of these songs were really hits, but they're the two most well known: "Keep Yourself Alive" and "Liar."
Yeah. Side one and two. Yeah,
Especially,
yeah.
yeah, especially "Keep Yourself Alive." That's the one that made the very first Queen greatest hits album.
Yeah.
The only track from this album that was on there. And so for the longest time, I assumed it was, an actual hit. Well, that wasn't necessarily the case. It
Yeah.
just got a lot of radio play. But again, this is another album that I wouldn't change a note. Side one is pure perfection. Great King Rat is one of the greatest hard rock songs they ever did. Great King Rat was a dirty old man was he.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? You like to see? Ah, God, I just want to sing along with this thing now. Hurt my voice. Um,
It hurt my ears. Go ahead.
we got Roger coming in here with his first, modern times rock and roll.
Mhm.
It's an almost punky. It's just his short, hard hitting track, high speed.
Blistering.
Have to make do with a worn out rock and roll scene. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Roger is showing his cards right off the bat on this debut. All right, guys, this is what I'm going to do throughout the next bunch of albums. You're going to get more, a lot like this. You're going to love it or hate it, but it's going to be all me. And yeah, it, Roger definitely set his own standard early. But above all else to me, it's Brian May's guitar on this album.
Yeah,
Again, I've said many times when you hear "Keep Yourself Alive" start to open the album, and it's like I feel like razor blades are cutting the air all around me.
yeah, that's
That's how
spiraling.
sharp his guitar is there. That tone, uh, yeah, that's why Brian May is my favorite guitar player. Um, yeah, I mean there are other contenders, but Brian is at the top,
Yeah.
and this album is Exhibit A. Even though Freddie's the one obviously here on the cover,
Hmm.
or some approximation of Freddie. But yeah, dig some of these. I used to have an original copy. This is not. This is a much later re-release because
Yeah,
I
it's a
like
Hollywood
the original
Records
vinyl.
re-release. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I got the the Hollywood CD with the crappy bonus tracks that I won't go into because they're abominations. But yeah. All right, not all of them actually. All right, help me out, Armando. What was the actual the bonus track that wasn't like a remix or anything? But
Mad the Swine,
yes, thank you. All right, Mad the Swine, I can live with. That was cool.
which in the original running order came between, oh my God, came between Great King Rat and my Fairy King. Um, and they restored it to the on the 2024 mix.
Wow. Yeah, that would throw me off. I do
It
like
would.
Mad Swine, but I would not want it thrown in the middle like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
It will always be a bonus track
It's
to
an
me because
abomination.
it's
Okay, go
after
ahead.
Seven Seas of Rye. And of course, this Seven Seas of Rye is not the Seven Seas of Rye that was their hit on the follow up album. This is just a short instrumental Seven Seas of Rye that closes the album.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this Queen experimented. They did a lot of great things beyond this, things I love. I'm glad that they branched out and did so many other things, but this album is near and dear to me. So as much as I love their entire catalog, this will always be my number one.
Yeah. Yeah. Little footnote, that picture on the front cover is a mock-up of Freddie posing like that at the Marquee Club. And they were performing at the Marquee Club before they got signed in 72. Anyways, we must carry on, ladies and gentlemen. My next pick, 1974, Queen 2.
I knew it.
We must get continuity, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Um, yeah. This is my favorite Queen album. I'll be as succinct as possible. This is my favorite Queen album. I love the production, as muddy as people say it is. I love the production. I love the overall packaging of the album. The Marlene Dietrich inspired album cover photo with Freddie doing the Marlena, as he calls it, with his arms crossed. The black and white motif, the theme of it, done by Mick Rock. The 11 tracks on the album. Every effing track on this album is amazing. Thank you for the pillow. You can send that
You
to me
knew I
at
was going to bring this out.
this box office number. Okay, starts off with Procession, Father to Son, White Queen as it began, Someday One Day, The Loser in the End, Side Two or Side Black, Ogre Battle, The Fairy Fellows Masterstroke, Nevermore, The March of the Black Queen. Funny How Love Is, which was never performed live in concert, and ends off with the full version of Seven Seas of Rye, reaching number 10 in the UK charts as a single. This album is perfection. It is perfection from top to bottom. I love every note, every nuance, every guitar solo, every glitch, if you want to call it that. The 2026 box set edition has a um, good 2026 mix of it. The bonus cuts, the rehearsal material, is actual stereo. It's not done with someone just using a handheld recorder. It is run throughs of the entire album, instrumentals. The March of the Black Queen is done in two bloody sessions because it's so bloody long. But, you know, I won't go there. And the fact that Freddie is, pining about having to, thinking that maybe he should go back to doing blue movies, instead of being a rock star. That's another issue altogether. This is a great album. It's on this list for a reason. People would probably think I would pick it at the opera. I almost did, but you know what? This is my favorite Queen album. I love them all, but this stands out as a classic, and it's a classic for a fucking reason. There you go. That is my next choice. Queen 2 from 1974. Your next one? Sorry, go ahead.
I knew you would pick Queen too, but I thought it would even be higher. I'm surprised it ranks this low for you. So I'm really curious to see what's coming up. Um, all right, my next one.
Yeah,
Speaking of queens, this might be the real Queen of England. Mr. Elton John, Reginald Dwight, and Honky Chateau.
the devil you sang.
And there, of course, is the classic band as it first truly fully appeared on this album in 1972. Nigel Lawson, Dee Murray, and Davy Johnstone. Nigel and Dee had been there already for a while, but this was pretty much Davy's debut, and obviously he would become very important in Elton's career.
Yeah, yeah.
And his music director. I mean, but the hits here, Honky Cat and Rocket Man, obviously, but it's the deep cuts. Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatters is my all-time favorite Elton John song, has been for many years. I think I'm going to kill myself. Um, I absolutely love that song. It happened to play on my way home, and it was a little awkward, but the school kids were out today waiting for the buses on my way home because school is just beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling along singing, I think I'm going to kill myself with the windows open as I'm passing kids waiting on the
Oh
bus.
my God. Okay.
Oh, what can I say?
A lot. Go on.
I love that song so much. It's just some of Bernie's wittiest yet most controversial lyrics. It's just played perfectly though. The music is great and Elton's
Yeah.
singing is peak. I mean, uh, state of the teenage blue. Oh yeah, great stuff. Mellow, I think, is just an absolutely gorgeous song. Uh, Salvation, Slave, Amy, Hercules, Elton's chosen middle name, Elton Hercules John. For those who are not aware, that is actually his middle name. He's a cat named
Okay.
Hercules. Um,
Okay.
there is a sped up version of Slave. If you get, I can't remember the name of the original set. I think it's called Rare Masters. It was a 2 disc set that came out like back in the 90s. I have around here somewhere. It
Yeah.
has a sped up version of Slave that is not near as good as this one. This version of Slave on the album is the one to go for, no doubt. Um, and there you go. There's Bernie and Jean Luc Ponty if you open the flap.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And of course, the lyrics. One of the many reasons I love records still.
Yeah.
It's a lot more legible than, I mean, unless you're looking at the wall, it's a lot more legible than you know, CDs. Good luck reading the lyrics on the wall, even at the full size vinyl version.
I know. I know.
So yeah,
That's
Elton, my first favorite music artist, and yeah, he's kind of the one that really got me into music and becoming a music lover. So this is very important to me. And look, can you picture Elton with this beard now? Doesn't he look so?
Masculine.
So yeah,
No,
exactly.
masculine. Yes. Sorry. You look so
Who knew?
masculine. A lot of people.
Yeah.
I won't go into it. My next one, 1975, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. My God, released September 12th, 1975. Oh my God, what to say about this? Five tracks in total. Five tracks is all you need. Uh, Follow up to uh, the massive Dark Side of the Moon. I prefer this album to Dark Side of the Moon. I love Dark Side of the Moon, but I love this album. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, part one to five. Welcome to the Machine. Have a Cigar, featuring lead vocals by Roy Harper. Wish You Were Here, a beautiful acoustic guitar, and ends off with Shine On You Crazy Diamonds, part six to nine. The original idea was to have Shine On You Crazy Diamond as one full suite on side one. They decided to chop it up and do it this way with the three songs in between and bookend it. I'm glad they did it this way. There's the infamous story of Sid Barrett coming into the studio, not knowing, and they didn't even know who he was when he left. He said one word, sounds like ordinary rock to me, one sentence, and he walked out. Then they realized who he was, and they all burst into tears. This is the last album that really had Pink Floyd working as a band, even though Roy Harper would say later on in interviews that he could see the cracks were starting to show in terms of the unity of the band, the brotherhood of the band. Great album. Check it out. It's an amazing piece of work. All right. Next choice. Wish We Hear from Pink Floyd.
Yeah. I'll just say if I was not following my one album per artist rule per decade, Pink Floyd might make up damn near half my list, and I'll just leave it at that.
There you go.
Excellent choice.
There you go.
My number four. Okay, well, this is. I have a vinyl copy somewhere, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna go over one of my two CD copies for a little touch of Schmilson in the Night by Harry Nilsson. Um, wow, this one's pretty special to me. Harry is known as a songwriter. He didn't write any of these. Uh, these are great American songbook standards
Mm-hmm.
from 20s, 30s, 40s that he did in 1973 with Gordon Jenkins, famous arranger who had done work with Sinatra and others. Uh, and Gordon was full of praise for Harry and actually ranked Harry above the others he'd worked with.
Mm-hmm.
That's high praise indeed when you work with the likes of Sinatra. I mean, that's how
Yeah, of
great.
course.
So I have come in the years since to know all these standards and so many more. Have come to love that era of music and versions by not just Sinatra but Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, blah blah blah, on and on. But these are my go-to versions. These are my standards of these particular songs.
Okay.
Stuff like Lazy Moon, For Me and My Gal, Always, Making Whoopee, Lullaby and Ragtime, As Time Goes By. I mean, this song is another one that's been in the family for a long time. It was recommended to my dad back in the 70s, and it's very calming, it's very soothing.
Okay.
And
Mm.
Lullaby and Ragtime is a song that I sang my kids.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, it's this album. It's yeah, Lullaby and Ragtime. I sang my kids to sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this thing is pretty special to me. So
I got you.
even though Harry is known more as a songwriter, my favorite Harry album is a covers album. And he was well ahead of the curve on doing, like rock pop, more modern era singers
Yeah.
doing standards. Linda Ronstadt came around with What's New in the early 80s,
Bullshit. Go
10
on.
years later. But, and then of course, Rod Stewart, late 90s, early 2000s started doing his stuff. But yeah, Harry was early. And
Yeah.
a pop rock singer doing this in 1973, how
Yeah.
uncool is that?
Yeah. And
And
he
this is
didn't
the guy
care.
that was hanging out with John Lennon and Ringo Starr and partying too hard, and, part of John Lennon's Lost Weekend. Meanwhile, he's singing, "You must remember this.
Yeah.
Kiss is still." Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you haven't heard it, by God, just go hear this album, people. A little
Mm-hmm.
touch of Schmilson
Schmielson in the
in the
night.
Night by Harry Nilsson. And isn't that album cover so cool? I mean, come on. There you go.
A spinning image. Okay.
All right, maybe not. All right. I've been long winded enough about Harry. Your
Okay.
next
Okay.
one, sir.
Okay. That's a good one. It's a good one. This list just got a lot of variety. My next one, 1976, Rainbow with Rising. Their sophomore release, Richie Blackmore, Ronnie James Dio, Cozy Powell, Tony Carey,
Yes.
uh, Jimmy Bain. Motherfucker. I swear to God. An amazing album. 6 tracks in total, recorded in a month in Munich. Um, My God, Terror Woman, Run with the Wolf, Starstruck, Do You Close Your Eyes? When You're Making Love, Not a Fucking Chance. Um, Side 2, Stargazer, the epic. We won't even go into what it's about, Donald Trump. And ends off with A Light in the Black, which to me is the conclusion, the aftermath of what happened with Stargazer. But I'm not one to gossip, so you didn't hear that from me. An amazing album. People say that Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, the debut release for Polydor and Oyster, was the best album. This is the best album for me. It's a great album. Check it out. Yeah, Rainbow Rising, an amazing album. Your next one?
My eyes are bleeding. I can hear Dio now. Oh,
Oh
God.
yeah, and the way he just screams it, and yeah, okay.
Look. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a killer.
Svengali, anybody? Okay, let's go. I mean, yeah.
Number three. Well, this isn't a rainbow, but it sure looks like one. Look at all those
Oh,
colors.
yeah.
Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, 1972 debut album.
Technicolor, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not picking Asia, folks. Asia's great, but this is better.
Yeah.
I
Released
will
through
die on
ABC
that hill.
Records. Yeah,
Yeah, here's the real band, Steely Dan. Yeah, there's Donald and there's Walter, but these other guys matter too. Uh, they were all there. Denny Diaz. We got Jim Hodder. We got David Palmer for this one brief album, and of
yeah.
course Skunk
Jeff
Baxter
Skunk Baxter. Yep.
with
Yeah.
that distinctive stash.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the big hits are obviously "Do It Again" and "Reeling in the Years" that open sides one and two respectively.
Yeah.
Those are not even my favorite songs on the album. Again, this is another one of those albums like Honky Chateau that the hits play second fiddle to the deep cuts. God, King's Midnight Cruiser, only a fool would say that. Turn That Heartbeat Over Again. I love these songs. I love the way that Jim Hodder sang Midnight Cruiser. I
Mm-hmm.
really I enjoy Donald Fagen's distinctive, unique voice, but I like the variety they had here with Jim
Yeah.
Hodder and David Palmer adding. I mean, "Dirty Work" is many people's favorite Steely Dan song, and
I
that's
love that song. I
yeah,
love
it's a
the
great song.
harmonies. I love the harmonies. Yeah.
I mean, David was kind of an odd fit for the band, is like he was almost forced upon them, but he played an important role in the overall sound of this.
Yeah.
And the cover, this is one of my all-time favorite covers. It's absolutely bizarre and ridiculous, but it's just so,
Technicolor.
yeah,
It's
it just draws me in. It's like,
yeah,
what the hell is this? I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that logo, that should have been on every freaking Steely Dan album they ever released,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't. And here we are. And yeah, there's my dad's name again. Hi, Dad.
Yeah,
Because this is again the
an
original
original
1972.
ABC. Yeah,
Yeah,
ABC Records, ABC
and it
Dunhill. Yeah,
still plays great.
yeah. Great album. By the
Yeah,
way,
that is my number four album of all
yeah,
time of any decade.
cool. By the way, David Palmer was asked to leave in April of 1973, and he left on amicable terms. We'll leave it at that. People seem to think he was thrown out or whatever, but no. And I mean, a little side note: if Donald Fagen was scared shitless to sing live, what the hell were they going to do? So
Yeah,
there you go. And anyways, my next choice, 1977, Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, if anyone criticizes this album, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I'm one person in particular. I'm not going there. Wagner rock, a theatrical rock, Bad Out of Hell. You took the words right out of my mouth. Hot Summer Nights. God, Heaven Can Wait. All revved up with No Place to Go. Ever had that feeling?
That
283 and
all
Bad.
lived up on HBO
Yeah,
back in the
exactly.
80s.
Oh, there you go. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. For crying out loud. My God. 7 tracks in total. An amazing album. Powerful, sensuous, uh, rocking, theatrical, all that in a bag of chips. It's a great album. Yeah, the fact that they had to that 293 and Bad was the last track written for the album, and they replaced More Than You Deserve with 283 and Bad. Thank God they did.
Hmm.
Um, this is
I won't be sad.
a classic piece of rock history on 2 sides of vinyl, and it's a great album. Everyone knows the history of the album. The original Paradise was 27 minutes long. Come on. Uh Bad Out of Hell, 45 minutes long. Come on. I mean, like, you know, it's a great album. Check it out. If you haven't, what the hell are you waiting for? So there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's my next choice. Bad Out of Hell,
great
1977.
choice. Yeah, and that's one of those. Even though Meatloaf gets the billing, I almost feel like it should be a triple billing with Meatloaf, Jim Steinman, and Todd Rundgren.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but
yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
yeah. There you go.
All right, my number two, very easy, very predictable. One of these is a red herring. You know what I'm picking. It's easy, it's obvious. It's Dark Side of the Moon, for God's sake.
Okay.
As much as I want to be the cool Pink Floyd fan and pick some, well, obviously the Moore soundtrack is my favorite, or no, I love damn near the whole Pink Floyd catalog, but I'm basic. This is my favorite. Uh, it just is. It's a perfect album. It's my number two all time favorite album by anyone ever. It radio could not kill this for me. I don't care
Mhm.
how many times they played Time, Money, Breathe, Us and Them, Brain Damage, Eclipse. It didn't matter. This can take a licking and keep on ticking, just like a
Yeah.
clock's in time, actually.
And it has. Go
Yeah.
on.
So everybody knows it. You
Especially
either
that
love it or
copy.
you don't. I mean, and yeah, it's another well worn vinyl copy. Um, Boom, 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 boom. And
Okay.
again, with the lyrics, gotta have it because I'm a big Roger Waters guy. I love Roger's words. So And this is where he really started taking it to the next level lyrically. Uh, yeah, I don't need to say anything more about Dark Side of the Moon.
No.
If you don't know it, I don't believe you.
There you go. My next choice from 1978, The Cars, self-titled, produced by Roy Thomas Baker. Uh, Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed. I'm in touch with your world. I won't even go there. Don't you stop. You're all I've got tonight. Bye bye, love. Moving in stereo, all mixed up. Um, the first three tracks just out of the gate, boom, 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 boom. Very unique sound for the time. Roy Thomas Baker would use the projection techniques that he learned working with the Cars, to work with Queen on jazz. Some say it worked to mixed results, but this is my choice. The Cars, self-titled. They will follow this up in '79 with Candy O, but this is my choice for '78. The Cars, self-titled. Let the good times roll.
All right.
And that ain't hard to or easy to do, I should
All right.
say. Go on.
Well, my number one of the '70s, it can only be one thing because it's my all-time favorite album by anyone ever, and has been for most of my adult life.
Yeah.
Look at this old beat to hell crime of
Oh
the
my
century by Supertramp.
God.
I know, right? But
How many times did you sit on that thing and pass gas on it? Like, come on. I mean, give me
the record is in great shape, though. It plays quite well. The inner sleeve is not holding together well, but yeah, this is still an original 1974 copy. You can see the lyrics where Rick's vocals and Roger's vocals were separated by color, which I actually think is pretty cool. This is the album where Roger Hodgson and Rick Davies were, I think, most in sync, where they
yeah,
blended. They were not on separate planes. All right, here's the Roger song, here's the Rick song. They were working together with each other on their songs, and that's why it's their best album. I
yeah,
know Breakfast in America is the big hit. I get it. I love it. Yeah, whatever. It's like my number 4 or 5 favorite Supertramp album. But they never topped this. They
yeah,
never possibly could in my book. And what Ken Scott did here sonically is
yeah,
beyond reproach. This is one of the greatest sounding albums of all time. Even if you have a basic cheap sound system, this
yeah,
thing will kick your ass.
yeah.
I've owned this
Sonically, it's a
on,
great album.
yes. I mean, this, like I said, the original '74 on vinyl. I've owned it on 8 track, cassette, CD, whatever.
Yeah,
They all sound amazing. It
yeah,
doesn't matter uh, what you play it on, it's going
yeah.
to sound good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously, my all time favorite album is going to be number one of my '70s list, Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
That's a good one. Well, in closing off my list for 1970s, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't put these in any order, but this is my favorite album. Pink Floyd, The Wall. All 26 tracks, double album. People have said that this album should be a single. They're idiots, and you know who you are.
And you're wrong. Not
Okay?
you, Armando, the people who
No,
are
but
wrong.
yeah, and you're a fucking idiot. Um, this album is rock theater done to its extreme. You've got rock, you've got ballads, you've got orchestral accompaniment, symphonic arrangements. In the Flesh, God. The Thin Ice, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1. Happiest Days of Our Lives, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Mother, that's side 1. Goodbye Blue Sky, Empty Spaces, Young Lust, One of My Turns, Don't Leave Me Now, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Goodbye Cruel World, that's side 2. Hey You, is there anybody out there? Nobody Home. Vera, my God. I mean, where the Bring the Boys Back Home, Comfortably Numb. That's side 3. The Show Must Go On, In the Flesh, Run Like Hell, Waiting for the Worms, Stop the Trial, Outside the Wall, side 4. Where would you cut this down? You can't. So for
Nope.
me, this album has to be listened to in its entirety. It's an amazing album. Bob has told me that this was the best concert he'd ever seen when we saw Roger Waters live back in 2012. I guess when the last show that you've seen was Anne Murray. There you go. What else can you compare it to? Best album in terms of Pink Floyd's catalog for me. Yeah, yeah. I got my copy on vinyl in 1988 for $8.99 at A&A Records on Yonge Street in Toronto. I still have it. It still plays. It's amazing. If you haven't checked it out by now, what the hell are you waiting for? That is my list for the 1970s.
Nice. Yeah, that's if I was picking more than one per artist, The Wall would be on here. It's just a hair behind Dark Side for me in their catalog.
Yeah,
And yeah, I agree. There is no filler. Some of the so-called filler tracks feature some of the best music and lyrics on the album.
yeah, yeah. And again, the one who has said that it should be a single album, you're a fucking idiot, and you know who you are. Anyway, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Have a nice decade, the 1970s. Our favorite 10 albums of the 1970s. Please put down in the comments below your favorite albums of the 1970s. And we are coming back with Have a Nice Decade, the 1980s. Stay tuned for that. I want to thank Bill for joining me on this episode. It's been a blast. And ladies and gentlemen, he's coming back for more. All right. So click like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, keep yourselves on top of any new content we got coming up. Follow us on X. We're now on X. And we've got more episodes that we're going to be working on that Bill's going to be involved with. And yeah, we're going to get them to you as soon as we possibly can. Have a great day. Look after yourselves and one another. Bye for now.